Hey allies, it's Tom and the delightful Delaney. We hang out a lot at the shop, sometimes 6 to 8 hours a day, and we've had a lot of different conversations and we've become friends. But I was born in 1970, Delaney was born in
2002.
So there's constantly these pop culture, music, different things that we've never heard of. And the first time it came up is I was talking about AOL and Delaney went,
"What is that?"
Yeah, and that blew my mind. It just completely blew my mind that she had never heard of AOL because at the time, AOL was a cultural phenomenon. Anybody who bought a computer, AOL came with it, and that's how you got your email set up, and that's how you were able to get internet access. Because before then, you had to kind of set all that up yourself.
And like now, I feel stupid not knowing what that was.
And this happens often, and it's not that Delaney's not done. You graduated top of your class?
Yeah.
In high school, and she's doing very well in college now. So it isn't like she's stupid at all. These are just these pop culture moments that she's not aware of, and it blows my mind on a regular basis. But it always embarrasses her and makes her feel dumb. And then it works the other way too. I can't think of an example right now, but we're going to have some examples where she'll mention something and I'll be like, "What the hell is that?" So we're going to do this in a little bit of a game format and have a little conversation in between them. And it was funny because we prepared for this, and she goes, "Is it okay if I use my phone?" And I was like, "That's funny because I use notes. I actually printed them out," and she actually has them on her phone. So I thought that was kind of funny that we're still working that way. So Miss Delaney, the first one is slang terms for me.
Okay.
Do you know what a crib is?
A house.
Okay.
Like MTV Cribs.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, I thought that one had kind of faded by, but yeah, that's true.
Do I go now?
Sure.
Okay, so you know what that's fake, that's Photoshop is?
Oh,
Like that's Photoshop, that's fake. A lot of kids.
okay, instead of saying fake, they say Photoshop.
Yeah, or they say I caught you in 4K. Yeah, it's weird, but they'll be like, "Caught you in 4K.
I'll have to start putting that into my rotation. How about dig?
Like that's big?
Dig.
Dig?
D.
Oh, I dig that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
Ish. High key and low key?
I know Loki, that's from Marvel.
Yeah, that's low key weird. Or that's a high key good idea. Those are really bad examples, but I feel like I use high key or low key in my vocabulary quite a bit. That's low key a good idea. I don't know. I find it weird, but I find myself using them too.
Yeah, I've never heard those. How about gag me with a spoon?
Yeah, I think I've heard my mom say that before.
That's from our generation.
That's like something's gross. Ew, gag me with a spoon.
Exactly.
I feel like I heard that in Clueless.
Probably. They probably use roadie in it too. Yeah, they definitely talk like Valley Girls, even though the Valley Girl thing was over by the time Clueless
What's
come
a
out.
Valley Girl?
Oh, okay. That was what I was going to say for the next time. But yeah, Valley Girl was it was a hit song by Julie Brown. It was a novelty song. It was a comedy song, and then it became a movie with Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage?
Mm-hmm.
Was he a big deal when he was young?
This is what made him a big deal because he'd been in a couple of movies, and he's actually Francis Ford Coppola's nephew, and that's how he got into it. Because eventually, originally he was Nicolas Coppola when he first started acting.
Well, he's just a meme for my generation.
Yeah. I hate Nicolas Cage, but I digress. Okay, I got some couple of TV ones. Do you know who Archie Bunker is?
From Riverdale, like Archie. No,
Okay.
Wrong.
It was from a show called All in the Family, which was this huge cultural show at the time. And Archie Bunker was this racist old curmudgeon, but he was lovable at the same time. And people, he would be totally canceled. Today's culture couldn't handle. He was like a live action Cartman. I mean, he would say he would say the worst things about people. But at the same time, he deeply loved his wife. He deeply loved his kids. But he was incredibly cruel at the same time. So,
because I was going to talk about YouTubers versus today's TV.
That's fair.
I feel like everybody my age are especially since we're in college now and going to people's apartments, nobody has cable. It's all Fire Sticks or like Netflix and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So with YouTubers, do you know who James Charles is? Kind of on the
I do not.
scandal of cancel. Okay, so James Charles is a influencer. He's a YouTube makeup artist, and he's like under the knife right now. Nobody, like the officials don't care or anything, but he's been like caught sexting minors, like at least 7 of them.
Okay, so
in the past year.
So I'm guessing that he gets by with this because he's so popular.
I think everybody's treating it differently because they're all guys.
Oh.
Instead of, but like, yeah, he's lost brand deals and stuff, but he's back to posting like his big thing is "Hi sisters."
Hi sisters.
Mm.
You've never heard that? That's funny.
No.
Hi sisters.
Hi sisters.
No, maybe I'll start greeting all the customers as they come up.
Don't ever say that. You'll get canceled.
Have you ever heard of George Jefferson?
No.
Okay. There was a TV show called The Jeffersons, and actually,
The Jeffersons.
And he was a spinoff of actually All in the Family. His character was introduced because he was the creator of All in the Family. Also created The Jeffersons, and it was this guy Norman Mailer who created like all these really popular shows. He's still alive. He's like 94 or something like that. But George Jefferson isn't. So you wouldn't know what businesses he ran then. So that kills that question.
Because you're talking about characters, and I'm just talking about people that live their life on YouTube.
But don't you think, to a certain extent, they're playing a character?
Yes, that's my next YouTuber. Do you know who David Dobrik is?
No. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube. The only YouTubers I watch, Rogan has a YouTube channel. I'm a big fan of Comic Tom 101. And I look for old stuff, like I used to listen to Opie and Anthony all the time, and their stuff is still archived on there. So I don't really follow it as far as a channel.
Well, he's only also big right now because he's about to get canceled.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's like famous for, he makes vlog style videos, and like he just got accused of like helping his friends give alcohol to young girls to like and stuff.
Oh my
So,
God.
like, yeah, that's all happening right now. But people in his vlogs will try to stick up for themselves and be like, oh, we were just playing a part. Like that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, YouTube is a scary place right now.
It sounds like, it sounds like all they're doing is adding to the delinquency of minors.
Yeah, well, like drama channels are a huge thing right now. Like, people love reality TV, but YouTubers love drama. And there's literally like thousands of drama channels out there as soon as something gets posted. Or like TikTokers cheating on each other, who cares? Drama channels care. Crazy.
Gotcha. So I'm going to ask you about a couple of cars, and I know your dad's a car guy, so you probably know these, but these are brands.
Okay.
You've ever heard of a Datsun?
No.
Okay. Datsun became Nissan, which I think that's the brand that you drive now. Yeah. And so it was these really solid Japanese cars that it was not unheard of for them to last 200,000 miles, and there's one on the road, I think, holds the record. I think it's around 600,000 or 700,000 miles. But they were just indestructible. They were kind of boxy, and they got a little sporty towards the end, but in the 70s they were just these boxy cars that just would run and run and run. They were amazing cars, but
Yeah.
okay. The other one's an Edsel.
No.
The Edsel's even before my time. It comes from
shit.
yeah, if you can believe it. There were cars before I was born. In the 50s, there was this car company called Edsel that it only lasted a few years. People didn't like the grill and a couple other things on them, and they just went away. But they're once you see an Edsel, you can't confuse it with anything else. It's very unique. It's a really cool car.
What are those cars that like jump? Is
Well, no,
that
those
one
are hydraulics. That's an aftermarket. You can't go to a dealership and say, "I want my car to jump."
Really?
No.
Was that an actual like big thing in the 90s?
Yeah. That was through the 2000s. Because I remember when I worked. Yeah.
I have never once seen one of those
2010,
in real life.
they were still
Really?
doing it.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I have never seen one in real life or on like the road or anything.
It's definitely more of a California thing, I think. But I've known people who had hydraulics. And when I worked out at Siemens, it was there was a guy there that had hydraulics. Yeah, and I was
Crazy.
like 37, so like 90 or 2007. This one, I think you probably have heard of the band, but I seriously doubt you can name the members of the band.
Okay.
So, the Rolling Stones.
No, I can't name any of them. I can't even, like, I'm really bad at naming songs. Like, I know the lyrics, but I can't put the name to it.
Gotcha.
Or anything. So, I mean, I know I've heard their songs before, but I can't even name one.
You don't know who Mick Jagger is. You know, but that name's not familiar.
Mick Jagger, I do know, is that Aerosmith? Or not Aerosmith. Shit, what were we talking about?
The Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, there we go. Yeah, no.
Okay, so, and you met Keith Richards?
I've heard of Keith Richards, but
Yeah.
is he a solo artist?
No, he's the lead guitar player. He sings like a third of their songs as well, huh?
How many people are in the band?
There's been multiple members. They've been together since like 1966.
Oh, okay.
And there's been people who've come and gone, but those are the two founding members, and they've always been, you know, they're the only. Well, no, Charlie Watts, who's the drummer. Those three are the three originals that are still a part of it. Bill Wyman was the bass player, and then he died. Shoot, I can't think of his name. See, even I'm doing bad now because their original rhythm guitar player, Brian. Oh gosh, put it in the comments for me, guys. But anyway, Brian drowned.
What?
Mm-hmm. He was a real bad alcoholic, and they're pretty sure that he was really drunk when he drowned.
Oh, I was really thinking he drowned in alcohol.
No, that was several other people we'll talk about later.
Really?
Another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, there's no bands, really. I mean, there are bands, like, but I feel like if you listen to, like, pop radio or, like, anything on modern day radio, it's always solo artists.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up the top Billboard right now, and Taylor Swift is actually the first one.
I know Taylor Swift. Yeah.
I don't
I like
like
Taylor.
her music. But I found this interesting. DMX is number 2 just because he died recently.
He's also awesome.
May he rest in peace. Love him.
But you didn't know when he died.
I
You had no
didn't
idea
know
who
he
DMX was.
Well, now I know.
Yeah.
X gon' give it to you. That, yeah. That song.
That's about the only lyric you can get away with saying is
Yeah, I'm going to stop there.
Okay. So, I'll go into, I got one cultural icon.
Oh, cultural icon.
Yeah. Billie Jean King.
I might actually be stupid.
No.
Yeah. In the 70s, there was a battle of the sexes, and she was the number 1 rated tennis player in the world at the time. Like, she was, like, whoever the number 1 female is, she was the number 1 female, and she was awesome, right? So there was this guy, Bobby Riggs, who played on, he was a ranked player, and he never won any major titles, but he was always fairly competitive, but he was also a really bad gambler. Mm-hmm. And he made a bet with her that he could beat her, and she ended up winning. Oh, sure. But it's come out since then that a lot of people think because he was such a big gambler that he probably bet on himself and threw it. But there's no way to really prove it. But anyway, Billie Jean King is like the Serena Williams of our day. Really? And especially because of this event. It was a big deal.
Well, speaking of like pop culture, I was going to talk about TikTokers.
Okay. I'm not going to know it all.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you just recently joined TikTok, and I feel like, I don't know, TikTok is such a weird place, because it's basically just taken Vine's place, which you were probably never on Vine either.
No.
Yeah, Vine was literally just like 6-second videos that were funny, which I feel like you, as an older person, you don't understand that, like our generation's humor at all.
Yeah.
Because we'll find a picture, and then they'll put like literally a 1-sentence caption under it. Hilarious.
Memes.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, memes. And then, yeah. But there's like 2 sides of TikTok is what people say. You're either on like straight TikTok or funny TikTok, and straight TikTok is just like, you gotta know who Addison Rae is.
No.
And Charlie D'Amelio.
No.
Okay, well, they're 2 famous TikTokers literally just for like dancing and stuff.
Oh, okay. Dancing seems to be really big.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, we created the Alliance Comics, Toys, and Games TikTok page, and we're growing pretty quick. We've got videos up there.
Yeah, well, I never see really dance videos. I just see like people doing stupid shit, honestly. Like, people don't use, it started off as Musical.ly, right?
Who?
TikTok?
What?
Started off as Musical.ly.
Oh, like just videos.
Yeah, which
like
was just
videos.
an app of you
dancing to the music.
Yeah, like you would literally just have to use music, and then girls would like do really cringy videos of them just singing to the music.
Gotcha.
And then TikTok came out, and you can make your own sounds And I feel like that's just dominated area. Nobody's really dancing those songs unless you're Addison Rae, which is kind of pressed about that because she just has to do this and makes more money than I ever won in my life. So.
Okay, so do you know what bell bottoms are?
Yes.
Okay.
Pants that go out at the bottom.
Yeah. I thought there was a chance. Do you know what the Concorde is?
Concorde? Is that a clothing item?
No.
No, I don't know what that is.
It was a supersonic jetliner that could fly from England to the United States at record speed. And then I don't remember what year, but one of them blew up, and it was a really big deal. And they grounded the fleet. They stopped doing it anymore. What? But it was a supersonic luxury passenger jet that ran for about 10 or 15 years, and then one of them blew up, and that was it. So, and they could only land at certain, like 4 or 5 airports were big enough to actually handle them and stuff. Like Scott Air Force Base could handle it, but there was other Air Force bases that couldn't even take it.
Wasn't there supposed to be a thing where you could like pay a certain amount of money to go into space?
Yeah, Lance Bass was going to do it with the Russians, and then Virgin Airlines is still working on it now. Oh. They're saying that within the next 4 or 5 years you're going to be able to go literally you'll be able to leave the stratosphere. You won't quite break all the spheres. I don't know the names of the other spheres, but you'll experience weightlessness and all that stuff. But it's going to be stupid expensive.
I thought there was like a scandal either when I was younger or when I was born where like spaceship blew up before it, like right after it took off.
That's the Challenger.
There we go.
Yeah, and that was in the 80s.
In the 80s.
And it killed. They let a civilian go for the first time. It was a school teacher.
Yes.
And she perished. Crazy. Yeah. And there was another one that in the early 2000s. I want to say like 2000. I don't know. I don't remember the exact year, but it was re-entering and it disintegrated. That was real old, and that's when they grounded the space shuttle program. After that, they were all falling apart.
Maybe that's why the Space Force is so underground right now.
Well, we don't have a space program on that level. We're still building satellites and things like that, but we don't have jets and things like that going up. But there's private companies like Elon Musk, Virgin, a couple others that are doing it. There's other countries that still are doing it. That's how we get our stuff up there. And we've started actually paying SpaceX to start getting things up there, but we don't have our own things, so we'll see what happens.
You know what I recently learned that might blow your mind? Mm-hmm. NASA was meant to be in the water, like they were supposed to explore oceans.
Oh wow!
You didn't know that either? I don't feel stupid. Okay.
No, I never heard that.
NASA was supposed to explore oceans, and then they were like, we've explored enough, let's go to space. Mm-hmm. And there's like tons of conspiracy theories. That's also a big thing in my generation. Huge thing.
Oh, we're big in ours.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't alive back then. So.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But, yeah.
I wasn't alive back then.
A ton of people think that, like, they found something in the ocean that, like, scared the shit out of them so much that they decided to go to space instead.
Oh. That sounds silly.
I thought it was interesting.
Well, so here's a character from a film.
Uh-oh.
Vito Corleone. You never heard of The Godfather?
I didn't know what The Godfather is.
Okay.
The movie.
So, it was a book first, but yeah, but it was a movie too. It's thought to be on a lot of critics' top 10 lists. It's usually that and Citizen Kane are like considered the best movies of all time. Right. And Vito Corleone was The Godfather.
Oh, I feel like I should know that.
It's a pretty big cultural moment, but
like quotes and stuff like "You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding."
That's him.
Yeah, and then the horse in the bed.
nice Vito.
You gotta do that.
I know. You really sold it with the.
That's also another like meme in my generation. People go, hey.
I was gonna ask you, have you heard of Space Invaders?
The video game?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't know because it's considered the first stand-up arcade game,
Really?
but I know it's gone over. Mm-hmm. So, what about Pitfall?
No.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was an Atari 2600 game, and I think it eventually became the Indiana Jones, the engine that they used for the Indiana Jones game. But it was essentially that's what it was. You would have to like literally swing over these different things that you could fall in. or puzzles and different stuff like that.
My grandparents and neighbor have an old arcade machine, so like my dad and I would try to beat each other's high score on Space Invaders.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
He's
makes
so
sense.
much better than me. And like Pac-Man and like that burger game.
Burger Time.
Burger Time. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
Do you know what silly bands are?
Silly bands. No, I don't.
Silly bands were like whenever I was in like 2nd grade. Silly bands was literally like a black market for kids. They would show up to school with like bands all the way up their arm, and we would trade them at recess.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to find it.
No, I do know what those are.
But like it was huge. I remember my mom had some friends come over that had a couple like adopted kids. That just doesn't have anything to do with the story. But she let them go through my Silly Band collection and steal them, and I'm still so salty.
Oh, really?
Like, yes, that was a
Totally
life-changing
ruined your day.
moment in my... That was my villain moment.
Moms have done... Yeah. Moms are notorious for doing that type of thing. Like, oh, you don't read these comic books anyway, and they would just give away people's comic book collections, baseball card collection, toys, everything else.
Hurt.
And it was like, especially like when you get to be like, 14 and over, where they don't think you really should have that stuff anyway, and you just gotta get rid of this clutter.
Yeah.
So.
But after Silly Bands, there was fidget spinners. I know you
Oh,
did
yeah.
those.
Oh, yeah.
My freshman year, they were such a big deal. Like teachers would like ban them from their classrooms
Really?
because people were fighting over them and like starting wars and just like throwing them.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually sold those for a little while. I got in on the craze.
I bet.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
bet.
I wish I had the store when those were out because I could have cleaned up.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Do you know what a pogo stick is?
Is that where it like jumps?
Yep.
You like stand up? I think I had one of those when I was little.
I didn't know if they still made them or not because I was almost at hula hoop, and I know that's like huge with your generation.
Yeah. There was like space shoes too.
Yeah. They had springs out there. Yeah.
Yeah, space boots.
Okay. And this is my last. Well, yeah. This is my last reference or thing.
Okay.
It's a toy.
Okay.
Do you know what a big wheel is?
Is that a tricycle with a big front wheel?
That's right. Yeah. So you did pretty good. I mean, like, you knew what a crib was, you knew what dig was. You didn't know what Archie Bunker or George Jefferson.
Thank my parents for that probably. And my older siblings. I have a sister that's 8 years older than me, so I feel like I did get more references than the regular person would.
Yeah, but I'm impressed. I mean, you didn't know what a Dachshund was, you didn't know what a Edsel was, you didn't know who the Rolling Stones were. Maybe you didn't do so good.
I don't think
Billie
I
Jean
did so good with
King,
the
no.
bands.
IBM, oh, I didn't get to IBM. We'll do that. We'll say that for another time. I can tell you don't know what that is. You didn't know what the Concorde was. You didn't know what the Concorde was. You didn't know what Vito Corleone was. You didn't know what Pitfall was. You didn't know what Space Invaders were. Pogo stick, yes, and the big wheel. But I didn't. Did I get anything that you brought up right?
Silly bands.
Yeah, but that's like if you start explaining what they were.
Because I feel like that's just so. I mean, when we could talk about like rap music, but I don't even listen to rap music. So.
Yeah. So that's what it's kind of like here at the store is we just constantly talk about different things, and then like it seems like probably 40% of the time neither one of us have any idea what the other one's talking about, and sometimes we'll actually call each other out, and other times we'll be like, I don't want to look stupid, so I'm not going to say I don't know what that is.
There's been multiple times where you're talking about something, I'm like, mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Totally.
it goes this direction as well. So thanks for watching. Delaney's going to be back in a second with some information for you. But I appreciate you guys, and make sure you hit that like, comment, and share button for us, okay? Thanks a lot.
Hey allies, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Hit the like and subscribe button to help us grow. Follow us on TikTok at Alliance Comics, Toys, and Games. Pretty much everything cool that comes in the store will end up on our TikTok, and it will eventually end up on our eBay at alliancectg. Follow us on Facebook. We have Facebook Live sales almost every Thursday night. And last but not least, follow us on Instagram for any updates. Thanks for watching. Bye!